Hey guys, what's going on? Kulprit here, and I just wrapped up my other commentary, so I'm gonna do another one back to back because I had a new train of thought and one I kind of wanted to, I've had this thought before and just suddenly occurred to me it might be a decent topic for a video. So I'm gonna get into it now. I want to kind of have the same stream of consciousness. So I wanted to talk to and elaborate a little more on how in my last video, for those of you that aren't watching these in order, was about how I feel like the class system in FPS games is a bit outdated. I'm tired of choosing engineer or support or assault and trying to figure out each trade-off, each benefit, each things like that, and every game seems to have them. So towards the end I teased this a little bit, and what I wanted to talk about is basically what I would love to really see is a developer take on new ways to, I guess, design your character, equip your character, choose your loadouts basically. And we usually have these slot systems where you pick something and it trades something else off, which is fine, and obviously it's a contemporary and traditional template. But I'd like to see someone break the ice a little, innovate, just a little something at this point. The way I've always kind of thought about would be cool. And like I said, I'm a kind of I'm not in the military, never been in the military, bit of a military buff at the same time. I like to read a lot about it and things like that. And the constant theme you pick up is that when these guys are given a task and they're given an assignment, one of the hardest things they have to do is figuring out exactly what they need and what they're going to take. And that's it. Like, and they trim the fat. They don't take any more than they absolutely need to complete an objective. And that's the bottom line. And their defining factor is always weight. And with that in mind, the effects that overburdening yourself can have. Speed kills, and that's very true, especially in these kind of areas. I mean, you want to be able to move quickly. You want to be able to move continuously. You want to, obviously not make noise. You want to have a lower silhouette, so to speak. So you're not going to take, a 150-pound rucksack, throw it on your back, and just throw the pots and pans in there. You want to be able to move quickly and efficiently and have a higher stamina. So I mean, I'm going on and on about it, but to me, I'd love to see a system based around weight. And basically, by that I mean, the less you carry, if you want to just go out there with a pistol and then 2 magazines, your character is going to move as fast as, the highest level of movement speed. It's going to be able to run forever. and you're going to have those benefits. If you wanted to go the other end, which would be more like, you take everything. You take RPGs, you take a Stinger, you take 100 magazines. You get the idea. An LMG with belt magazines on your back. You're going to look like the Juggernaut from, Call of Duty, and you're going to move at a walking pace. And you're not going to be able to run at all because you're at the max weight level, So what would that do for players? I mean, that would force you to sit down and be like, you're going to obviously talk with your teammates, your squad mates. I'm going to use, for this example, we're going to use Battlefield 3. You're going to sit there and be like, all right, guys, I'm going to run the medic role. So I'm going to run, maybe whatever your weapon of choice may be. And that's based on, what your personal style is and what the weight would be. But then you're going to say, all right, well, I'm going to carry a lot of medical supplies. I'm going to carry, bandages or defibrillators, whatever the tools in that game are. I'm going to load up on that. I'm going to carry a lot for everybody. So you guys go real light on that, on the medic supplies. Somebody else can carry a lot of extra magazines. We'll just carry 5 or 6 for ourselves, and then if we need more, we'll hit you up. And vice versa. I'm going to be the medic. I'm going to be the corpsman. If you go down, I will take care of you. You carry the basic essentials, maybe 1 bandage, 1, to steal from DayZ, which is another game I think the system would really work well in. You carry some painkillers or some morphine, the basic first aid kit, so to speak. And while I might not be the quote-unquote medic, I'm going to play that role. So I'm going to take on that portion of my pack will be that. Somebody else takes that and that. And it's going to just be basically every loadout's going to be a custom loadout. You're going to see other kind of loadouts evolve as like a flanker. Well, think about it. What are you doing when you're flanking? You're moving constantly. You're moving quickly. You're not fighting anybody head on. So what are you going to do? You're going to take your gun of choice, maybe a silenced kind of weapon, that type of thing. And you're going to want fast movement speed and continuous movement speed, which for this instance, we're just going to say a long stamina, so that you can run around and you can run really fast and you can run for long durations, flank around the target, and you're going to engage in, advantageous engagements for yourself. So, I mean, you can take this as far as you want. I mean, you might even forego some body armor, but say they have chest plates. You might take those out. It depends how far the game wants to go. You could have a guy heavily armored, could be a lot of weight. Bulletproof vest, flak vest, things like that. Or in we'll go back to the flanker role. You would forego that. You would maybe take a smaller chest ring with one grenade instead of multiples. You know, you might only carry a bunch of magazines. It really, the details and the possibilities are endless. I mean, and like I mentioned, this isn't really just for FPS. I think something like this would work really well with a game like, you know, DayZ, where you really, you know, you could take it even further in that if you're heavily loaded, you know, because think about it, in DayZ right now, you grab everything you can. If you have an open slot, you're just grabbing something. You'll grab pots and pans. Like, it doesn't matter because, hey, I have this slot. I might as well fill it. I'll drop it when I need that slot. But if you have it based on weight, well, now if you're heavily burdened and you're at your max weight, well, now your character's going to have to eat more often. Your character's going to have to drink more often. If you wanted to add in rest, or maybe you don't do a rest where the guy has to sit down, but you have like a cooldown on running, well, now he can't run for a little while because he's carrying a 100-pound pack on his back full of Franks and beans and hatchets and nonsense like that, and every ammo you find, because you never know what weapon you're going to find next, you know? So now instead you're going to go, man, I'm not going to carry that because the chance I'm going to need that is slim, and it's just going to add more weight to my pack and therefore slow me down, and therefore may not have to eat more. I mean, it's another degree of realism, obviously. So I would really welcome something like this. You know, obviously I'm not a game designer. I'm not trying to tell people how to do their jobs. I'm just a guy that likes to play games. I like my games to be fairly realistic. I like my games to be immersive. And, you know, I mean, as you guys know from my channel, I like to think about my games. I like the meta game. I like to get really in depth, and something like this. I mean, God, I would love to sink my teeth into this. Like, just imagine. I mean, think about if Battlefield 3 had mod tools, you could do this, right? I mean, if they let you go in, you could just make a whole other. We've got core mode, we've got hardcore mode. What about just loadout mode, or whatever you want to call it, where this is the system. There's no classes. You get an avatar. You can change his camouflage, whatever the hell you want to do. And, you know, you just might have to add a couple more slots, but you could, you know, it would be doable. Everything you need is in the game already. You would just have to restructure some things. I mean, obviously I'm not a coder, but, you know, you want to go in, you know, how many magazines are you going to carry? Well, do you have the FAMAS? You're gonna need a lot. You're gonna need more magazines there, or are you a slower firing L85 where you can conserve ammo more easily, therefore carry fewer magazines. Therefore, you might be able to carry a couple extra grenades, or you know, you see the decisions, and these little decisions are everywhere, and they really will affect you. Like, do you not think you're in Grand Bazaar, B Alley, and you don't think you're gonna go, damn it, I wish I had that second or third grenade? Of course you will. Or you get in that 1v2 gunfight and wish you had taken the extra, you know, flak jacket, or, you know, chest plate armor, or you know, those types of things, or, you know, and I would love to see players faced with decisions like this. Right now, it's like you're like a hoarder. It's like everything you can get, you just get, and you take, and you just hold on to yourself without with very few sacrifices. So, you know, if you see the guy with the LMG and he's got canisters of belt-fed ammo, he's got claymores, he's got all kinds of crazy crap armor, and that guy's running, well, he's only going to be able to run about 10 feet, and then he's going to have to go prone, not because he's camping, because he's out of goddamn breath, and he's exhausted, and that should be how it works. Whereas my guy, who's, you know, an assaulter, a real assaulter, or, you know, you want to borrow the Medal of Honor Warfighter term, Spec Ops class, say, who's really lightly armored, he has no chest plates, he's got, you know, 6 magazines, 2 grenades, and an AR. He's going to run circles around this guy, be able to flank him, be able to attack from behind, use some stealth. I mean, you guys get it. You guys see what I'm talking about here. So let me know if you would like to see something like this. I'm just kind of spitballing here. I'm trying to come up with some different topics for you guys to talk about. Obviously, we can't keep talking about Battlefield 3, and, you know, Medal of Honor Warfighter is coming very soon. So I'm kind of in between. I'm just kind of talking about some things I've been thinking about. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy talks like this, I'll kind of do some more. But I'd really like to open a conversation with you guys, so please use the comments. Tell me, like, you know, do you like the idea? Do you not like the idea? What are some ideas you guys have? I mean, we all play games. We all think about things like this. We all think we're the smartest game developer in the world. So what do you got, guys? So otherwise, if you listen this long, I'd appreciate a like. Obviously, any retweets and favorites, of course, help. But mostly I'm interested in your comments and your feedback, like always. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will talk to you soon. Take care.